Hello, everyone listening, and welcome to episode 16 of the Take It With a Grain of Sand podcast. We are your hosts, Mikki P.
And Ricky B.
And boy, oh boy, did we got an episode for you, a special episode of Take It With a Grain of Sand. A special birthday episode.
Yes.
Completely birthday themed. And we hope that you guys enjoy, and if it's your birthday, happy birthday from us at Take It With a Grain of Sand.
Oh, hey everybody! Today's a very special day. You want to know why?
Why is that, Ricky P?
It's Mikki P's birthday!
It sure is. At the time that we're recording this is the anniversary of my birth 24 years ago.
Yeah, wow, that is a long time ago. That's like 1999?
Yeah, and things were very different back then.
I mean, how so?
Well, there weren't iPhones. There wasn't very much technology at all.
Oh, wow.
People used to listen to cassettes, Ricky. Cassettes.
So, iPods were not even a thing back
Not
then.
even iPods were a thing back then. They used to listen to cassettes. There was not Bluetooth. And it's really... since there's, these things are such an integral part of our lives today, it's, like, really weird to think how they didn't exist, like, not even that long ago.
So, I'm guessing Apple wasn't as big as it was in 1999.
I think they were just getting started.
I mean... I think it was like 10 years. Maybe.
They've been around for a while, but they were not... I mean, all they used to make was computers. But that's not what this segment's about, Ricky.
Okay.
I would like to share with the audience a memory that I don't really have, but I remember from watching the memory. Let me explain. I want to talk about my very first birthday, 23 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Back then, it was the year, what they used to call Y2K.
Yeah.
People were freaking out about year zero coming again. And, just 2 months later was my birthday party celebration. Of course, I don't actually remember being a year old, but I've seen the video of my first birthday. And I remember that. It was a long time ago that I saw it. It was like in elementary school that I watched that. But I remember seeing that. And I would like to share with you all what I was like and what my birthday was like when I was 1 year old.
Okay, well, go ahead and explain.
So, then on this day, my mother had gotten together a bunch of family members, a couple of friends. She had a friend who had a daughter who was, I think, like 4 or 5, like a little bit older.
Yeah.
She was a little too old to be my friend, honestly. We were only friends because our parents are friends, but she was, like, way too much older than me to really be my friend. But anyway, she was there, relatives were there, and she had, our mother had gotten us, or gotten me, because Ricky P was not alive during this time. He was not alive. I was an only child, and our mother had gotten me this, for the party, this big Winnie the Pooh sheet cake. It was a big sheet cake with Winnie the Pooh on it. Because I was a child, so I loved Winnie the Pooh. And so, but since it was my birthday, and I was a baby, she also got me a smaller cake, just for me, with Winnie the Pooh on it as well. And so, because what she wanted was for me to be able to do baby stuff, make a mess in it, but then they still had a cake for everyone else.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
For all the guests. They didn't want a cake, then I had my own cake. So Then they sang happy birthday to me. You know, me just sitting there not really knowing what's going on, but I seemed to like it.
Yes.
I didn't really actually know what was happening, but I wasn't upset about it. And then it was time for the cake. So then our mother brought this little Winnie the Pooh cake and set it down in front of me. And I was supposed to go to town on this cake. You know, do what babies do, just take it by the fistful, rub it all over my face, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I would not touch this cake. Ricky, it was so me. Like, I could see me as my adult self in my baby self. Like, my personality was so there. I would not touch this cake. I was not gonna make a mess.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. Because, like, a baby is supposed to make a mess of it. I guess I didn't want to be sticky, or I don't know. I would not touch this cake. Someone, I think one of our aunts came over, or maybe it was our mom. Someone took my little baby hand and put my little baby finger into the cake and put it up to my mouth. And I tasted it. I seemed to like it. I kind of smacked my little baby lips. But I still wouldn't take a fistful of this cake and eat it. And then someone gave me a spoon. I didn't have the dexterity to use a spoon yet, but I kind of poked at the cake with the spoon. I poked at this little cake with a spoon, and then I think our mother went ahead and fed me with the spoon. Fed me the cake, because for the life of her, she could not get me to put my hands in this cake. She wanted me to put my hands in the cake. That's why she got the cake.
Yeah.
So that I could do my baby thing on there. And I refused. I don't know. But it was just so me. Like, I'm very, for the audience, I'm very, like, I pride myself on organization, on cleanliness, on all these, like, you know, I'm not, like, I'm not, I don't want anyone to think like I'm super, like, germophobic or anything, but I have been known to go around with the Lysol now and then, and that's pre-pandemic. I was doing that before COVID. That's just who I am. So to know that that's exactly what I was like as a baby. You can see a baby's personality so much. It's crazy. Like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't communicate what I was thinking or feeling. But you could see my personality just by how I would not touch this cake.
Well, that's impressive. That's all I gotta say on that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny to see that, like, how I just wouldn't, I wouldn't touch this cake. And then the relatives did what relatives do. When they get you presents, they get you, of course, toys, but also clothes that are too big so that you grow into them. Someone got me this dress that I couldn't fit until first grade. 5 years later.
That doesn't make any sense.
I remember seeing that dress in the video, and I was like, wait a second, I didn't wear that dress until I was like 6.
Yeah.
5 years later.
Yeah, hold on to that dress for 5 years.
Yeah, until I could finally fit it. That's how big they got this dress. Who gets a baby? I was a baby. They got me a dress big enough that I couldn't even wear it for 5 years.
Yeah.
They could have gotten me something smaller so I could have worn it sooner. But I think that's just the thing. They want it to last. But the thing is, it doesn't really last. I didn't get to use it for a long time. And then I was still growing. Yeah. So I couldn't wear it for that long anyway. I grew out of it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So either way, look, whether you get something that's going to fit the child sooner or later, eventually they're going to grow out of it. Unless you get them something big enough to fit as, like, when they stop growing at, like, 16 or 17.
Yes.
But yeah, they got me some toys and some clothes that were too big. And I think all in all, for a baby, I think I had a good time. I didn't know it was my birthday, but I think I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most important part.
Yeah. And then not too long later, about a year and a half, I was no longer an only child.
Yeah. Yes. Why are you saying it like it's a bad thing?
I didn't say it like it's anything. I'm just saying that's the facts.
It is
All
bad.
the way up until then, I was the only child. And then I never had two cakes again.
I didn't even think that was even a tradition.
I don't know if it's a tradition, but I know that I had two cakes that day.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna do my favorite recurring segment on this podcast, connecting an episode of SpongeBob to real life.
Oh, great.
And Ricky, I thought it was only fitting that on this special birthday episode, we should talk about the episode of SpongeBob where it's Pearl's birthday.
Oh, I remember that episode.
It's a great episode, and we're going to talk about it and hopefully be able to connect it to real life.
Oh, this is gonna be an easy one.
So, the beginning of the episode, we find out that it's Pearl's birthday.
Yeah.
Right? It's her 16th birthday.
Yes.
That's a big milestone.
I don't really know why.
Because that's when you can get a driver's license, I guess.
Yeah, well, aside from that.
Aside from that, it's not really a big deal. But, people make, in our culture, in American culture, your 16th birthday is a big deal.
All right.
Even in other states where you can drive younger. There's states where you can get a license at 14 or 15.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's the sweet 16.
Okay.
And that's a big milestone. And it's Pearl's 16th birthday. And, Mr. Krabs is kind of at a crossroads, right?
Yeah.
Because he loves his daughter, Pearl. But he also loves money.
And he was cheap for the past 15 birthdays.
He's always been cheap. There's that one episode where he was gonna give her some used batteries.
Yes.
For her birthday. So, but he does care and he wants to make this as special as he can. And so at the Krusty Krab, he wants to throw her a party.
Yes.
And so what do we have at this party? This sweet 16 for his loving daughter. We've What was it? There was the cake that was just cardboard with frosting.
And then there was fruit punch disguised as dishwater.
It was dishwater. The cake's not even that expensive. You can get a cheap cake. You can't even cardboard, Mr. Krabs. And then, of course, so Pearl loves this boy band.
Yes.
Called Boys Who Cry. She loves this boy band. This boy band is so hot right now, and she wants them to perform at her birthday. Yeah. But who does Mr. Krabs get to perform?
Squidward.
Squidward, because he also loves Boys Who Cry. He was like, girl, I want to do what you say. And Pearl's friends are there. Pearl's friends are there. This is so humiliating. It's embarrassing. She hates it. This party is trash.
Yeah.
Squidward singing, cake made of cardboard, garbage. The drink is dishwater. I mean, he could have gotten something to drink. It's a restaurant. He had drinks.
Yes.
There were fountain drinks. But no, he's serving used dishwater. This is garbage. But what we have to do to make it up to Pearl is Mr. Krabs is gonna give SpongeBob his credit card to get her the perfect present.
Oh yeah, this happened during this entire
Yeah,
ordeal.
during it. And SpongeBob at first is pretty confused because he doesn't know what a credit card is or how it's money. He doesn't know how it works, but he goes so it Pearl and her friends go to the mall.
Yeah.
And so SpongeBob follows them around to see what Pearl might like. Because, of course, he doesn't know what a teenage girl wants. We don't really know. Do we know how old SpongeBob is? So I
Uh,
would guess like 30s? 20s?
yeah, he was born in like '86.
Who said that?
Driver's identification card.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, he wouldn't know what a teenage girl would like.
Nah.
So he kind of stalks him. He just follows him around every time Pearl picks up something at the mall and she's like, "Oh, this is cute. I'd like this," or something like that. He buys it.
Yeah.
"I'd like to buy this piece of plastic with this piece of plastic." That's what he said. Because he doesn't know what a credit card is. But then he ends up with so much stuff.
Yes.
Because like she was just window shopping. So of course, like you go window shopping, you're gonna pick up a bunch of stuff that you actually don't really want and you're not actually gonna buy. But SpongeBob just takes all of it.
Yeah, he
he
actually was starts to actually take an actual guy. Right.
yeah, he bought a guy. He bought a guy, he bought a boat,
Yes.
he bought her a boat, and he got her Boys Who Cry.
Yes.
And so then they show up, they sing to her, Pearl, everybody gotta do just what you say.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, Pearl, it's your 16th birthday. And she's going crazy. This is the best party ever. He got SpongeBob got her the outfits and the makeup and a boat and the band and everything, and it was incredible. And Pearl gives Mr. Krabs a big hug. She's like just so thankful to her father for actually making this a memorable and special birthday for her.
Yes.
And then Mr. Krabs asks SpongeBob how much all of this costs.
And then he gives her a receipt.
And he gives him the receipt, and it is. For Earl's 16th birthday was not a good day for Mr. Krabs.
Well,
But Pearl was happy.
yes.
So it all works out.
Yeah.
So how about we connect this to real life?
We all had some really kind of mid and kind of bad birthdays.
Sure. Uneventful, but a lot of times something saves it though.
Yeah.
There's someone that gets you something special, or you get birthday wishes from someone you care about, and that makes it all okay.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's what this is truly about, even though it didn't really come from Mr. Krabs. That's the thing. He wouldn't have gotten her any of that.
No.
He was just gonna give her some cardboard boxes with frosting. He bought the frosting. That doesn't even make any sense. He bought the frosting. He could have bought the cake.
Uh, it was the cheapest thing.
So used boxes. And like so he wasn't gonna do anything special. Oh yeah, and he had a banner up that said it's a boy.
He crossed it out and it just wrote girl on
He
it.
wrote girl on it, and that's not even what you do for a birthday. It's like for a gender reveal party or a baby shower. Not for a birthday. It's a girl. Like we know she's a girl.
Yes.
You don't get those signs for that. That's what Mr. Krabs did. It was just trash. So it really came from SpongeBob. And I remember at the very end, Mr. Krabs said, No, SpongeBob said, "You're a really good dad, Mr. Krabs." Oh man. So connecting it to real life, you know, birthdays are only as special as you want them to be.
Yeah.
Not everyone makes their birthday special. Not everyone cares. Maybe something traumatic happened to you on your birthday. I mean, Ricky, I know you haven't seen Happy Death Day, have you?
No.
So in that movie, that horror movie that I kind of liked, the sequel was trash, but the first one was good. This girl, it's her birthday, and she doesn't like birthdays anymore because she shared her birthday with her mom. Her and her mom had the same birthday, right? And it was just a really special thing between the two of them. And then her mom died. So now she doesn't like birthdays anymore. But then she keeps waking up on her birthday and getting murdered over and over again. That's the movie. But yeah, so like birthdays used to be special for her, and then something happened in her life that made them not special, right?
Yeah.
So if that's you, just remember, you can just remember that you can make it special again. That birthdays can truly be a celebration of your accomplishments and what you're looking forward to. Where are you headed? And if you're not where you want to be, I think a birthday is a good time to reflect and redirect. You know, people like to do that like at New Year's, but New Year's isn't special to you, right?
Yeah.
Your birthday is your day, and that I think is a good point to reflect on where you are, where you're headed. Are you where you want to be? How do you get to where you want to be? And how to book your favorite performer to make it special.
Right.
What
I mean,
you gotta do.
not the. The last part is kind of a stretch.
If that's what you gotta do to make it a good day. You know, a lot of performers do private parties. And that's not just music. Bill Burr does private parties. He'll
Okay.
come and see you on your birthday.
Oh. All right.
You gotta pay him.
A lunch.
I don't know. I can't imagine he's all that expensive. He's a pretty down to earth kind of guy.
Mm, okay.
I would love to see him, but and then you can also get like a lot of pop singers and rappers will do private parties for a much higher fee, I'm guessing, but they'll do it. And they'll come out and see you
Okay.
and sing.
What else are we really gonna do?
I don't know. Just stand there and talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what I know is that you can make it more special. And like even on a smaller scale, you could just do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
If you just want to stay in and put on your favorite show, maybe order some food,
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I've been doing.
that's something that I think can also make it special. You just stay in and do your own thing. That's fine. Or if you got money, you can use your piece of plastic and go out and buy whatever you want. Or you can give your piece of plastic to somebody else and have them just follow you around, and you can just say, buy that, buy that. I think that's what rich people do. They just have someone else deal with like the cashier and stuff. I don't think like Beyonce gets into the checkout line at Tiffany's. I think she just points to stuff and she has someone else deal with that part.
Yeah.
So maybe you should get a personal shopper.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
And you just point and stuff and say, buy that. I want that. That, and that. Like what Ariana Grande said. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. I think that that's a good way. So, in conclusion, for this segment, connecting this episode of Pearl's birthday, everyone has a birthday. So this one really does connect to real life.
Yeah, yeah.
And not everyone can afford to make it a super big thing. I mean, Mr. Krabs can because he did pay for everything. He
Yes.
just didn't want to.
Yeah.
But still, like, there's people out there who maybe can't, but there are things that you can do for yourself that aren't expensive. Maybe you could go to a local, if you like the outdoors, your local park or beach, whatever thing you want to do. And so, yeah, final thoughts, Ricky?
Mm, not really. I think we said what we need to say.
All right, well, then that's connecting this episode of SpongeBob to real life.
All right.
Ricky, I think we should tell our audience something right now.
All right.
About today. So while we're recording this segment, so the first segment we recorded a week ago.
Yeah.
And this segment that we're recording today is special because yesterday was our mother's birthday.
Yes.
And we're celebrating it with her today when she gets back home from the hairdresser.
Yeah.
And so we thought that we would wish her a happy birthday here on this podcast. And now we want to get into a different kind of segment.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about people killing each other.
Ricky, you're getting ahead of yourself. I want to say, this is a thought that I've had because not to get too serious or down on the podcast, but Ricky and I's cousin was murdered 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And his killer is still out there. Never caught. I think that the cops are still working on it. But it's got me thinking, if that person's out there not caught, doesn't that mean that there's other killers out there that haven't been caught as well?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of unsolved cases.
Lots of unsolved murders. Most murders don't get solved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's got me thinking, like, who's a killer? And you don't know. Anyone could be one of these killers that's gotten away with it.
Oh yeah.
Your cashier at McDonald's, your coworker, maybe someone in this room.
Where are you implying?
What I'm just trying to say is that anyone can be a killer and you don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, you have to really think. Even when you're actually getting groceries, maybe the person behind you, maybe the person in front of you.
Yes. They could be a killer.
And you know what? Killers are all ages. Even children can be killers.
There's been children killers.
Yeah.
Kids killing kids. Kids killing their parents.
Elderly people killing each other. Killing the youth.
That's what's going on. And that's got me thinking killers might be everywhere. What if, let me pose this thought. What if people who've never killed anyone is the minority? What if most people are killers?
Okay, now we're getting into tinfoil hat conspiracy.
No, that's not a conspiracy. That's possible. Now Ricky and I just had Chick-fil-A delivered from Uber Eats.
Okay.
This guy showed up.
Yes.
He might have been a killer
Yes.
that dropped off our food. It was delicious, though.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
say that.
it was really great.
It was exactly what we ordered with the sauces and everything. Delicious meal.
I liked it.
The guy might have been a killer. The food might have been prepared by a killer at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Ricky, killers might be everywhere. Everyone listening, check your people. All your people you surround yourselves with, just make sure that they're not a killer. Maybe someone listening is a killer.
Oh God.
You guys.
We got a murder. We have a murder on this.
You guys. Which one of you did it? Who did it? If one of our listeners is a killer, how about you leave a comment? Leave a comment on this video if you've done killing.
Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen.
Everyone might be a killer.
That's a little exaggerated.
I say, here's my statistic. Everyone's about to get a Mickey P statistic. 1 in 3 Americans is a killer.
Okay.
1, 2, who's the third?
There's no one in the middle.
Every time you count 3 people, the third one's a killer.
Okay.
That's what I say. Who knows who's a killer? Because it could be anyone. It's a regular person. Whoever killed our cousin is out there, and it's just a regular person, right?
Yeah.
That's why they've gotten away with it for so long. They don't give killer vibes. Because not every killer gives killer vibes.
No.
You know, I saw this thing online that there was this TikTok girl. This girl that was really popular on TikTok that killed her disabled sister. She seemed normal. She was just doing like dance videos and stuff. She seemed like a normal teenage girl. And her sister had some type of, I can't remember what it was, cerebral palsy or something. Something where she couldn't speak and she was bound to a wheelchair. And this girl killed her.
Yeah.
You would never have guessed that that girl would have been a killer.
No.
So who else out there just seems like a normal person?
Everyone.
Although some killers do look like killers. Some people fit the stereotype. Scary looking.
Yes.
But then there's also scary looking people who are very nice and wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah. They do exist.
So who's unassuming? And I bet, let me pose this. You picture someone that's unassuming, you would never guess is a killer. And I bet money what you're picturing is a woman.
That's
right?
actually right. That's really
You're
right.
picturing a small woman.
Yes.
And that is sexism. Because that small woman could be a killer. She's just as capable as a large man.
Yeah.
Where nobody is safe.
No.
Everyone listening, watch your backs. Unless you're one of the killers, I guess you're all right. For you, one of the killers, you gotta watch. You just gotta do what you do. But I mean, I prefer if you'd stop.
Yeah, they're gonna stop. They're definitely gonna stop.
If you're not one of the killers, you're potentially a victim.
Yes.
You'll be a victim. You know a victim. And you gotta watch your back and watch your people.
Yeah.
Make sure that they don't become a victim or a killer. Because that's what's going on.
Yeah.
That's real life. Killers are everywhere.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Take It With Ray and Sam. Hope to see you again soon. And always remember to take
it with a grain of sand.
Yeah, what she said.